Guys, I am here for an ARC review of one of my favorite authors who has a new book out, and that is Layne. Layne is the author of literally so many series that I have loved. The Oxford series, the Stiletto series, the what was that one called? Like Marriage on Madison Avenue or something. There's the Wedding Bells series. I have read all of these and I have loved all of these. So on June 29th, Layne has a new one coming out. It's called To Sir with Love. And I got this ARC for my honest review for free on Edelweiss. And literally the second I saw it show up on Edelweiss, I was like, slam! Request, not like breaking things. Because I was like, oh my gosh, I need this book. Because Layne, I don't know a lot of other people who read her stuff, so if you do, let me know. But she's done, adult romances, usually some of them clean, some of them not. Her more recent ones have been more clean, and I don't know why. It doesn't matter because they're all really cute and lovely. But, if you're here for the spice, her more recent ones might not be your thing. Go to the Oxford and Stiletto books for that. But To Sir with Love is this wonderfully you've got male inspired book that's also like enemies to lovers. So it's just really cute and I love it to death. So this is a pairing of a dude and a girl. And the girl's name is Gracie, and her father has recently died from lung cancer, and in his will he left his champagne shop to Gracie and her older sister and her younger brother. However, her older sister is off and married, doing her own thing, and her younger brother has decided to move up towards New England. She's in New York City. He's like upper more New England in the woods, pretending to be a lumberjack working on a farm. So Gracie's two siblings have nothing to do with his shop, and so Gracie's really feeling the family pressure to continue the champagne shop, even though it really is not making a lot of money. She had been accepted to art school in Italy. She's an artist, but it's her job to take over the family business. So she's been trying to diversify the champagne shop, do some more kitschy stuff as well as sell her own artwork. And she's really, really struggling. But the one bright spot in her life is Sir. This is not BDSM related, kink related. This is, like I said, a clean romance. But I have to be honest, when I saw it like in Edelweiss, I was like, is this a kink thing? It's not. To Sir with Love is because she has been chatting with this guy over a dating app. The dating app does not show you a picture. It's supposed to be, you match with people based on interest, and then you have a conversation, and then eventually you meet. So taking away the, swipe right or left on people's face or whatever. So they have never exchanged names. When she starts talking to Sir, he calls her Lady because they're like pretending they're writing missives to each other in like a very Renaissance style. He says, hey, I'm sorry, my friend signed me up for this as a joke. I'm actually seeing someone. And so at the beginning, there's no potential necessarily for a romantic relationship. They've just struck up a really, really great friendship. And this is like the one bright spot in her life, besides the fact that people really like to buy her art. So Gracie is doing her best to take care of this store, and then one day in walks Sebastian. He is a developer who's part of like a big family business in New York who buys and develops property, and he wants Gracie's store. He wants it so that he can take over like the whole block and do his developer thing or whatever. And of course Gracie's not having it because this is her family business and it's her legacy, and her father has just died and she's not having it. Also, it's like the whole like steely blue eyes and tight, button down jacket and, the stiff upper lip businessman thing. And she's the freeformy artist. So you can get, they do not mesh at all. And so they clash a lot. She even goes to, his office to, really rip him a new one. And all the while, she is still talking to Sir and like complaining about, in very vague terms, this thing that is happening in her life. So To Serve with Love does not give Sebastian's perspective. It is entirely through Gracie, except for, if you want to call it that, in the text messages that you get to see going back and forth between them. That has no context on either side, so you're just seeing as if it were on the phone screen. I don't know if this is a spoiler, because I don't think that it is, because I can't tell you that she is having these phone conversations with Sir and then Sebastian's the other guy without you like making the connection. I don't think that it's meant to be a spoiler. And honestly, the pacing of the book suggests this as well. But Sir and Sebastian are the same person. Of course, Gracie doesn't realize that, and in the beginning, Sebastian doesn't either. So they are just trying to interact with each other on a in-person level where they hate each other, and then over text where they kind of come to admit that they are each other's best friend at this point in their life. So it's like a really sweet budding romance. At the same time, it's enemies to lovers because it's taking place on both of these planes, which is really great. The secondary great thing is that this book really does take time with Gracie's sibling dynamic. Just the idea that she is trying to take over the family business that she and her siblings grew up in, that they don't want anything to do with, that she feels abandoned by that. Like, there's so much layered into their family situation, and this book takes time to have Gracie conversing with her siblings, not about romance. Sometimes, you know, a romance plot is really just about the romance, and that's not what this book is. It's really saying that, you know, there are layers to why Gracie is running the champagne shop, and, you know, does she really want to keep it? Does she not? You know, she has to come to grips with all of these personal things on her own to help round out her own life. And that's really, really wonderful. I feel like there was potential for this also to happen with Sebastian's character, because he's also working for a family business and has had things happen to him and has an interesting family dynamic, but because we don't get his POV, we don't get any of that. So I do think that's one of the not so great parts of this book, is that he's not as fleshed out as I felt that he could be. But I fell in love with Gracie and her family and her friends so much that I was like, I don't care. Because, oh yeah, there's also this really great storyline where Gracie has a best friend who got married and has kids and has moved out to the burbs, and now she has like another friend who lives right above her in her apartment building, and they are closer, not in age, but in stage of their life, as opposed to where Gracie and her best friend are closer in age, but they're not at the same point of their lives. So there's also this like really, really fun like friendship dynamic. Gracie is in her 30s, and it's just a time of like transition for all of them. And that's another extra layer to this book, which is really, really sweet and well done. This book is less than 300 pages, so to fit all of this in is really incredible, and it was just very sweet. I loved it a lot. I'm not going to spoil the ending, although with the idea that you already know really going into that Sebastian and Sir are the same person, I did feel like you as the reader could tell when Sebastian figured it out, because there are things that Gracie says that clearly relate back to their phone conversations. And so you see when he figures it out and she does not. And it takes a really, really long time in the scheme of this rather fast read for Gracie to catch on, even though there are a lot of breadcrumbs being dropped first in their conversation and then by Sebastian himself. And so I was like, okay, just get to the part where she figures it out, because like I know, he knows, the cat knows. Just wrap it up. The book ends with kind of her discovery, and then there is a very sweet epilogue that's a little bit like farther down the road in their relationship. So that's part of the reason why it's clean, because this entire book is relationship setup, which I really, really enjoyed, because sometimes you just want to watch a relationship build, and that is what happens in this book. So yeah, my only complaints really, again, are just that I felt like Sebastian didn't get his due because we didn't get his point of view, and with all of the layers to Gracie's life, and the self-exploration and friendships and family things that she does, it really just made him feel rather lackluster because her side was so deep. But you know, that might not bother you. And again, the ending is more just me being like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, get it. So that also just might be a personal thing, but I highly recommend Lauren Layne if you have not yet read one of her books. I have not been disappointed by anything else that I've read by her. So highly recommend starting with her anywhere. To Serve with Love appears currently to be a standalone, so maybe if that's kind of more your thing. But it was so cute and it was really sweet. And if You've Got Mail is a trope that you're into, it's worth it for that. If you like enemies to lovers, it's worth it for that. If you like books where there's more going on than just the romance, there's a really great character arc involved, read it for that. Just go get it. It's out on June 29th and I read it in one sitting. It was great and I hope you enjoy. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.